Now it's 6, a federal investigation into 2 Missouri hospitals, including one in Joplin. We'll tell you why. Plus, frustration builds in Lamar following bathroom vandalism. And the Missouri Southern Lions softball team looks ahead to the MIAA conference tournament. We'll hear from them.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Federal authorities say 2 hospitals that denied a Joplin woman an emergency abortion broke the law. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Jalen Banks. The investigation covered Freeman Health System in Joplin and the University of Kansas Hospital in Kansas City, Kansas. They say last August, the hospitals refused to provide an abortion to Melissa Farmer. Her water broke early at 17 weeks of pregnancy. Doctors said her fetus would not survive and she was at risk for serious infection or losing her uterus. They wouldn't terminate the pregnancy because a fetal heartbeat was still detectable. Federal law requires doctors to treat patients in emergency situations and trumps those state laws. You can learn more about the investigation and Melissa Farmer's story on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Neosho Police Department and other law enforcement agencies are asking for help finding a suspect they call dangerous. Authorities say 38-year-old James Herbert is wanted for crimes such as vehicle theft, property damage, and fleeing from authorities. They say he's 5'8" with red hair and brown eyes, but they believe he changed his look by shaving or coloring his hair. If you spot him or have information about where he may be, call the police. Authorities searching for 2 missing teens in Oklahoma found 7 bodies, including those girls. The sheriff in Okmulgee County, Oklahoma, confirmed the bodies of 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer were found. Authorities also found the body of 39-year-old Jesse McFadden on the same property. He was scheduled to go to trial today for soliciting sexual conduct with a minor and possession of juvenile pornography. There's no word yet on the identities of the other 4 victims. A Missouri man learns his sentence for his role in the death of a woman who authorities say was kept in a cage and dismembered. 60-year-old James Phelps will spend life in prison without parole. He entered an Alfred plea to first-degree murder, kidnapping, and abandonment of a corpse in the death of 33-year-old Cassidy Rainwater. Timothy Norton is also charged in the case. He faces the same charges and has a hearing tomorrow. Wayfinding signs are getting a fresh look in Joplin. New signs are being installed now. The signs depict the city's new branding. The city installed the current signs 9 years ago.
And the wayfinding system is designed to get our folks staying in hotels to various attractions in town, like Joe Becker Stadium, the sports complex, the downtown district, the retail shopping areas. It is designed to help them get around the community.
The city says it should take all week to replace 39 signs. A local group is working across state lines to preserve old cemeteries that serve as the final resting places for veterans and elderly individuals. KOAM Shagun Bomdali has more.
The mission of Not Forgotten Barton County, Missouri cemeteries is to protect and maintain cemeteries, particularly those that are at least 50 years old and have fallen into disrepair.
Because it's history and it's people's loved ones. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here today. And not only that, there's some Civil War veterans buried in a lot of these different cemeteries.
A local genealogist says these cemeteries can preserve lots of information needed to track a loved one.
Those persons once lived, all those persons that are buried there, all those persons have descendants, or most of those persons have descendants that are still living and want to visit the cemetery and place flowers in their memory. And it's pretty hard to do for some of these abandoned cemeteries.
Some cemeteries face the threat of erasement.
There's some that's been bulldozed in Barton County and Crawford County. Then there's some that's people used it for animals, like pasture for like cows and different things. And the animals have just destroyed the cemetery, the headstones, and people just don't take care of them.
Although the headstones are still visible, most cemeteries this group is saving are covered with grass and bushes.
We would like to get them listed as historical preservation and get them preserved and protected so that like later on they will have somebody that can be able to maintain them all the time, and they will be able to be upkept.
In Barton County, Shagunbam Dile, KOAM News.
The group says there are 33 abandoned cemeteries in Barton and Crawford County. And now to weather, meteorologist Sam Lane joins us with the first look.
And it's been a beautiful day across the 4 states yet again. Lots of blue skies and warm temperatures. Radar is clear and it's going to stay that way for a little bit longer, even across the entire region. Not a whole lot going on, which is kind of unusual for this time of year. And we're looking at the allergies today. They were bad, 9.9. Tomorrow about the same. Most of that is oak, mulberry, and walnut pollens. If you're heading out this evening, looking like a pretty nice evening. Temperatures dropping through the 60s into the 50s, and by morning we should be in the upper 30s to around 39 degrees. And looking down the lane, we're going to have some cool mornings ahead, but a terrific Tuesday, and then some storms roll in late Thursday into early Friday, and then we have a really warm weekend ahead as well, and I'll have all the details on that in just a little while.
All right, we'll see you then. Mercy is expanding its healthcare footprint in southeast Kansas. Mercy announced the acquisition of 2 primary care clinics in Pittsburgh. The healthcare provider bought the practice of Dr. Jacqueline Orender and Dr. Holly Cranston. Both clinics will stay in their current locations on South Tucker Terrace and Mount Carmel Place. All providers and staff were offered the chance to become Mercy co-workers. The acquisition becomes official and final on May 22nd. Park workers at Lamar City Park walked in on a disgusting scene at the park's bathroom. Mud and dirt on the walls, tattered tissues on the floor, and soap dispensers in the toilet, all for the park's workers to clean up. The park workers usually spend an hour cleaning the bathrooms daily, but this mess took half of the day to clean. Park and Rec wants to remind you, as the warmer days arrive, a clean park is the city's pride.
We just take a lot of pride, and I know our city takes a lot of pride in our parks, so we want to do everything that we can to keep it as nice as possible for all the users of the park. There's a whole lot to do in our park without having to vandalize the bathrooms.
Due to the labor and cost to clean up the vandalism, the park workers have to put off other things like getting the pool ready for summer days. Coming up, an old ride in Joplin reclaims its spot after a short road trip. Plus, owners of an area campsite prepare for the summer. We'll take a visit and learn how. An old car gets its reserved spot back in Joplin. The 64 Corvette has accompanied murals in the Route 66 Mural Park in downtown Joplin since 2013. Back in January, it was removed to get a tune-up. Today, it was parked in its former spot after some minor repairs and a fresh coat of paint.
Back in 2013, when we put Mural Park in there, we were looking for things to get people to stop on Route 66, spend more time downtown, spend more time in Joplin, and it's proven to be that. It's a very valuable asset for us.
The Route 66 Mural Park at 619 South Main Street on the northeast corner. With summer approaching, rivers are going to be full of kayaks, canoes, and rafts. Big Elk's floating and camping site is located in Pineville, Missouri. While they are open for the season, they're working to make sure everything is ready for guests. KOAM's Kerry Worthen paid a visit to the site and has more.
We're in the fun business. We love people. And it's so great to see people that came back in the 80s that are now bringing their grandchildren. It's family.
Big Elk's Float and Camping in Pineville, Missouri has already opened for the season. From a variety of kayaks, canoes, paddleboards, and tubes, there are multiple ways to float down the river.
We have aluminum canoes and we have plastic canoes. We have paddleboards. We have 3 different kinds of tubes to float in. And the tube business is huge, because we'll give people a tube with a kayak paddle, and it's just fun.
Big Elk's daily hours may open at 8 a.m., but they strive to help their customers to the fullest extent.
We have a lot of times people that come in early and want to go upstream on Big Sugar to float and fish. We meet them early, sometimes 6:30, 7 o'clock, we'll meet them. You know, we're in the customer business, and that's what drives us.
Daniel says safety is one of the most important things, from going through every canoe and kayak to checking every life jacket and paddle.
We're looking forward to a big season. We're ready. We're known to have the cleanest restrooms on the river. We have the cleanest fans, the safest fans we feel. Safety is very, very important to us because it just ensures a better trip for our customers. When we're on our A game, our customers are going to be on an A+ game.
In Pineville, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Big Elk has 17 cabins, 2 of which are newly refurbished. They also added some fresh rock to the RV pads to get them ready for the summer. A little later, a Carthage Tiger signs to continue their career at the next level.
And the warm air continues to be across our area. What about the rain chances? I'll have the answer when we come back. Well, friends, another gorgeous day across the 4 states. Lots of sunshine, blue skies, and warm temperatures. You can see on our tower cam at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort in Seneca, Missouri. You can see the sun rays there. Lots of sunshine for everybody, and warm temperatures has continued. We need some rain, though, and hopefully we're going to get some. But right now, let's enjoy the nice weather. 66 today, starting out at 39. That was above the normals of 73 and 51, and the records are 91 and 30. Look at the rainfall. We're already behind 0.2 of an inch for this month, and for the year we're about 4 inches behind on the rainfall, so we need to catch up pretty quick. Winds have not been all that bad today. Tomorrow we expect the winds to come up out of the north and west with around 20 to 25 miles per hour, especially off towards the east. So a little bit breezy tomorrow, but then as we go through the afternoon, winds are going to die down, and then by Wednesday they're going to be out of the west at light and variable speeds. Rain not to be found anywhere on the radar in our area as well as across the entire region. We're watching the next storm system, but it is slowly taking its time getting here. It's running into a ridge of high pressure that is stubbornly sitting over the Rocky Mountains, but it eventually will make its way towards the east, and that's when the rain chances are going to start to increase across our area. But in the meantime, we have some pretty nice weather in store for the area. Temperatures right now are in the 60s and even a few 70s, like Sedan with 71, but the dew points are low everywhere, in the 20s and 30s. It has just been bone dry out there. And right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 66, northwest wind at 17, gusting to 25, dew point is 25, and so the humidity is way low at 21%. And in Pittsburgh, we're a degree cooler, 65 degrees, northwest wind at 6, dew point at 24, and the humidity low at 21%. Temperatures are going to be falling through the 30s tonight, again, especially up towards the north, and then 40s elsewhere with light and variable winds. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, northwesterly winds with highs in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. And then as we go into Wednesday morning, we're going to see lows in the 30s to the north and east, 40s out towards the west with a slight wind change. And then as we go into Wednesday afternoon, partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-70s across the area. Then as we go into Thursday, notice we could see a few scattered showers across the area, especially up towards the north, with lows in the 50s, and hopefully the rain chances will continue to increase. Severe weather, not really a concern. Maybe some strong storms out to the west on Wednesday, but that's about it. Rainfall amounts are going to be, unfortunately, on the light side. Maybe an isolated area could pick up an inch or so, but unfortunately, we're going to have to wait for a bigger storm system to really start to increase those rain amounts. Here's that ridge of high pressure that I was talking about. It's going to slowly move off towards the east and be shoved down to the south as well. That will allow pieces of energy to rotate out of this trough of low pressure, and that will keep the rain chances going for several days. And hopefully, in those days, we're going to see some rain across the area as that will help out our farmers and ranchers. But in the meantime, pretty nice weather. 68 tomorrow, 73 tomorrow. Storms on Thursday, especially Thursday night into Friday morning. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, chances of rain in there with highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. So not too bad overall, but like I said, the drought continues and we desperately need the rainfall.
And the roller coaster continues because we were just chilly this past
I
weekend,
know.
and then looking ahead, we're going to be in the 80s.
That's life in the 4 states.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Sam. Still ahead, we'll hear from the Missouri Southern softball team as they prepare for the MIAA conference tournament. And the Carthage all-time leading scorer, Kiana Yates, signs to continue her career in college. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, the regular season is over, and it's time for the playoffs for MIAA softball. The Missouri Southern Lions have earned the number 2 seed in the conference tournament and will face 7th seeded Emporia State in the first round on Wednesday. Now, these two teams split a doubleheader in the regular season. Over the weekend, Southern lost both games of a doubleheader to 5th-ranked Central Oklahoma to finish up their regular season schedule. UCO finished as league champ and is the #1 seed in the tournament this week. Although Southern fell just short in those 2 games against UCO, gave them some confidence heading into this weekend that they can compete with anyone they see from here on out.
Confidence is the first thing that we're going to take from it. We were right there. It was a great ball game. I mean, extra innings, going back and forth, and they've got a great program, and so do we.
We played 2 great games against them, and it could have went either way in that second one, and I think just that says a lot about us and that we can play with anybody, and it's just whoever shows up that game. And it didn't go in our favor, but I think it showed our team that we can play with anybody and that we have to show up and play like it's our last every game.
The next step in our process for our culture and our program is to get that big win and have that clutch hit, and I know that once we do, the floodgates are going to open, so that's the plan going into this week.
High school baseball here. The Frontenac Raiders aim to stay undefeated this evening on the road for a CNC doubleheader against Colgan. And game 1 right now, Frontenac in control. Raiders lead at 15-6 in the bottom of the 4th. The McDonald County Mustangs pick up a shutout win today at home against Carthage. Mustangs beat the Tigers 9-0. Weston Gordon throws a complete game shutout and allows just 2 hits. Destin Dowd comes through with a grand slam for McDonald County. The Mustangs are now 15-7 overall, and they've won 11 of their last 13 games. One of the best basketball players in Southwest Missouri signs today to continue her career in college. Carthage senior Kiana Yates is headed to the MIAA, signing today to play at Washburn University. Yates has definitely had a decorated career for the Tigers. She leaves Carthage as the program's all-time leading scorer with more than 1,500 total points. She's a 4-time All-District selection and a 3-time All-COC pick. Yates is also a 2-time team MVP. Here she is on continuing her career at the next level in Topeka.
They were just very welcoming, both coaches and the players. Like when I went on my visit there, they were all very friendly, and I don't know, I just like that environment. And I know I'll have to put the work in this summer so I can earn my spot and hopefully playing time. So just seeing where my work ethic takes me.
She's certainly a talented individual, talented basketball player, and also a former KOAM job shadow here. I asked her if I could CG her. Yeah, that's her. Yeah,
I knew she looked familiar.
That was her.
Did I interview her before? But it makes sense now.
A few weeks ago, she was
awesome.
in our newsroom. Talented lady.
Well, best of luck to her. And that's it for sports. We're back with more after this. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll have more on the cleanup of Lamar City Park's bathrooms that were vandalized, plus how a local school district is preparing for end-of-the-year standardized test. And the Girard Public Library hosts a paint night. We'll check out the artwork. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. All right, rain, don't go away. Come back some more.
That's right.
What do we have going on?
That's what we want to hear. But we're going to have a couple of nice days before that. Tomorrow, 68, 73 on Wednesday. Storms late Thursday into early Friday. And then the storm chances really kind of increase Sunday through Wednesday of next week. So hopefully somewhere in there we will get some.
Awesome. Sounds good. Leonard,
we told you Missouri
season's coming up.
Yeah, Missouri Southern softball, we told you, is in the conference tournament this week. Missouri Southern baseball and Pittsburgh State baseball both made the conference tournament. We're going to talk about their first round matchups right here tonight at 10.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you all for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.